Of course, it had to come down to this point after cheering on a president who ridiculed academic achievement. The Republican Party, having shed hundreds of thousands of smart, i.e. former Republicans, is now resorting to the purest distillation of its many and harebrained messages. Our third story tonight, the Republican Party's last hope, urging America to just stay home from school, just say no to education. Reading are fundamental. It stems, of course, from Obamophobia, irrational fear of a black man running the country, and his speech on Tuesday addressing America's school children. Naturally, the idea of an American president addressing America's school children is inherently terrifying. So Glenn Beck and other academic elites on the right are now actually telling parents to keep their kids home from school on Tuesday. Skip school, now a mainstream Republican position. We'll show those truant officers. Why is this? Because the Department of Education lesson plan has suspicious questions for kids to ask.
I would not normally have a problem with any president that wants to address school children, wants to encourage them to study hard, to develop, to learn, to have a great education, to inspire them that America is the greatest country and they can be all they can be. But when you read the specifics here, what is the president asking me to do? How can I help the president? Now we're getting into an area where it seems very close to indoctrination, or at least has the potential.
You missed a question, Sean. How about this one? Does this speech make you want to do anything? Because, of course, all good indoctrination first asks you whether or not you want to be indoctrinated. And then there's Michelle Malkin and that blank stare warning that, quote, it's not about the text. He'll actually deliver a very innocuous speech. Wait, what? Oh, I see. Teachers will then urge their kids to write letters to demonize Obamacare. To demonize Obamacare opponents. So where did this insidious idea come from that President Obama should teach America's kids? Perhaps from the article for the cover of Parade magazine last month, What President Obama Can Teach America's Kids by Mr. William O'Reilly. Or maybe from this guy who spoke to America's kids as campaign season began in October 1991, asking kids to write him, telling him what they could do to help him achieve his goals. Let's turn now to MSNBC political analyst Jonathan Alter, also, of course, senior editor at Newsweek magazine. John, thanks for your time tonight.
Hi, Keith.
I know a lot of liberals are really upset about this, but it's so stupid I can't take it seriously. I mean, if Michelle Malkin suggested that kids should wear a clove of garlic around their necks at all time to ward off Obama, I would not be laughing as hard as I am now. Can you explain this crap for us?
Well, they're just rank hypocrites. I mean, I didn't see any of these characters complaining about President Reagan in 1988 when he did this. In fact, Reagan, in his session with America's school children, talked about the importance of cutting taxes. I didn't see them. I didn't see them talking about indoctrination at that point on Limbaugh's program. And then, of course, you mentioned President Bush did the same in 1991. I think what you have here is a bunch of people who really don't believe that Barack Obama is legitimately president of the United States, whether that's out of racism or some other motivation is not clear. But they're trying to delegitimize him in any way they can, be as disrespectful, not just to him, but to the office as they can. And to my mind, to be actually what I would call unpatriotic in their approach. And by that I mean that if you believe in this country, you know that education is the only route up. And that doesn't mean that missing a day of school on the president's speech matters that much. But the point is, Obama has tremendous influence, particularly with African-American school children, in getting them to stay in school and work hard and work to improve this country. And the school superintendent in New Orleans has spoken about the Obama effect, that when the teachers tell the kids, the president wants you to do your homework, it helps. Now, why would they want to undermine that? Why would they want more children growing up, dropping out of school, causing problems for themselves and for society? These people are so myopic and so hypocritical. It never ends, Keith. And you're right that it's funny, but on some level, it's kind of pathetic.
But also, it's self-defeating, because if you think about this, the Democratic parents are going to tell their kids to stay in school that day, and presumably they'll get this message, and whatever value this is towards keeping them in school, there'll be more Democratic kids, or kids of Democratic parents will be staying in school and then getting, you know, degrees and colleges and scholarships and things, and the Republicans will be working at Burger King. I mean, it's self-defeating, isn't it?
Well, you know, it really is. It's something that people don't quite understand is that if you look at the 2008 election returns, the Republican Party is not only becoming more regional, more of a Southern party, obviously an older white party, but also a much less well-educated party. For the first time in many years, Democrats carried college-educated voters. And, of course, they've long carried graduate school-educated voters. So you can see scientists go overwhelmingly Democratic. So they're becoming whiter, more Southern, and more stupid as time goes on. And I'm not sure that that helps either their party or the country.
Well, but conservatives also used to be conservative. Go to school, listen to your teacher, shut up, respect at least the office of the president, whether you care about the president or not. What exactly is the value system they're espousing now?
I think it's resistance to, you know, a political opponent and a very doctrinaire, ideological approach to analyzing issues, and it works a lot of the time. Keith, there's a hardcore 20%. I don't think it's that much higher than that, but 20% of the country that listens to these programs and that takes their marching orders from clowns like, you know, Glenn and Rush.
No, well, I think that actually they've hit one that I like. Stay home. Keep your kids at home, conservative parents. Keep them at home and then watch them not get into college, which is fine because they don't learn anything because they only teach that evolution and other science and stuff like that.